Hello, and welcome to the 382nd episode of the Unranked podcast. This is Christian Humes here with Alex Tuna Marinello,
Yep.
Dan Weine,
What's up?
and special guest, Brendan Milove.
Special guest, baby. How's it going?
Brendan is someone you've heard about in the background. He was, I can now reveal who the creative mind was behind that show.
Sure, go for it.
Of Grax and Chad. I talked about this like a year ago. I went on a Twitch show. It was very like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It was unbelievable. Like Brendan, like, during the pandemic, learned how to 3D animate and code, and like you did a motion capture rig and all this shit, and you built this entirely virtual scene.
Yeah, Lucas Eubank and I, we taught ourselves Unreal Engine programming kind of just from scratch, YouTube videos and stuff, and then eventually we got a motion capture suit, and we did kind of a Space Ghosty type show that we had guests on. And Christian, you were an awesome guest on that. It was a really fun time. We've hit the pause button on it because it was very high lift, and I was drenched in sweat after every episode, which I hope to be at the end of this podcast.
Well, people tend to get wet, but not from sweat.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna do a lot of high intensive cardio.
Not unless you're here on Saturday, because Saturday we're doing a special episode. We usually do it at least once a year. We do a power hour episode. So this Saturday we're doing our power hour. Our PowerPoint power hour, our second one ever, where we're going to do PowerPoint presentations while taking shots for an hour. So that is an episode you can definitely get sweaty on.
Shots of beer.
That sounds
shots of beer.
Okay, because I was like, that sounds like you're gonna die.
No, yeah. But you do it for an hour, so it's about having 7 beers is roughly what it.
I remember. I think it was Ibanez man was in the Discord, and he was saying he wanted to do shots along with it, and we all tried to talk him out of it.
Yes.
You will die.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Do not do that, please. Please don't do that.
7 beers though.
We do.
Yeah.
We also did the Nugget Power Hour one time. It's the only time we've attempted a non-alcohol.
2 of us did the Nugget Power Hour.
That's true.
How many? That's 60 nuggets in an hour.
Yes.
Yep. The Mick Power Hour. If you will.
So this was when I first started dating my fiance. We tried the chicken nugget challenge in 20 minutes, which was 60 nuggets. I got 42 in, and she got like 20 in, and she was so cocky. She was 100% sure that she was going to be able to dominate. And it's so much salt, and it just turns into like a goo in your mouth after a certain amount of time.
Tuna, do you mind if I throw you under the bus here with cockiness with the chicken nuggets? What did you do right before we did the chicken nugget challenge?
I ate a full lunch for whatever reason.
You really fucked yourself.
I ate pasta, a chicken parm. I like stuffed my face. I don't know why I thought this was going to be, but for someone who ate a full lunch beforehand, I was able to get up to 50.
Yeah, you were near 50. I don't know if you're over or under, but
I remember I was like powering through it because I was like, I cannot be the first one to bow out. I have to beat Tom. So,
which you did. You beat him by 1.
I did. I beat him by a nugget, which was fine. So if I beat him by a nugget, I had to have had like 51, 50.
I think it was 50 and 51, right, Dan?
Yeah, Chris and I had 61 because we counted wrong. We lost track.
Can I ask all of you a question? What number nugget did you have this thought? It
was after 40.
So, like around 30, 40. I was like, this is not enjoyable anymore.
Yeah.
This is a chore now, and the flavor of these nuggets is getting real old.
Mm-hmm.
The taste went away around 40 for sure.
Yeah, I was doing ketchup and ranch alternating, and I still was like, I don't.
Yeah, I had a trio as well.
Yeah, the sauce is a lifesaver.
I don't know if I had used any sauce. I think I was just going like efficiency.
And you know what, too? Like the first couple were just delicious. And then it became like as the time went on and they were just sitting there as well, it just became like lukewarm.
Yeah.
I mean, you would great nuggets.
But here's the thing. I was about to say, the first few you're still hungry for. You're all happy about, but you had a full lunch.
Yeah,
that was stupid. I mean, you can't also not eat, because if you don't eat, because we did it in the evening, that's also a problem. So you had to eat the right amount.
Right. I thought of that too. I thought, well, if I don't eat, then I won't
Yeah.
be able to eat as much either. But I guess I
Mhm.
just overate.
Yeah, I
That's
did like
definitely true.
almost like did like mini stomach training the couple days before. I like ate a little too much for every meal, just kind of stretched it out.
Gotta chug a couple gallons of
And then-
water.
And then I ate nothing until we ate the nuggets that day.
Unbelievable. It was that was a choice. Well, Brendan, before we go and jump into our first segment with the Pokemon, you do, and I'm going to say this now instead of at the end of an episode, which is what podcasts usually do, where people stop listening anyway. You do have a new show with we've had Kelly Nugent on the show before. We haven't had her on in a long time, but you're doing a show with her and Lucas, who you just mentioned right now.
Yeah, we have a podcast called What Even Is This Podcast? It's the podcast where we try to figure out what our podcast is. So we do a different format every time. It's got Lucas Eubank, Kelly Nugent, Meredith McNeil, and myself, and we do something completely different every time. At the time that we're recording this, the most recent episode, I put in different rooms. One room had a bunch of booze, another room had a bunch of marijuana, which is legal in this state. We put a bunch of spicy peppers in one room, and then too much pasta in the last room. And then we randomly decided who would go into what room, came back, and tried to social deduction game who was in what room. So we do a completely different format every time. Having a great time doing that. So if you want to hear this voice more, that's all on that as well.
Speaking of voices, so Brendan, I feel like I can't put my finger, but you sound like someone famous.
Oh,
has anyone ever said this to you? And if they have,
to assume he's not famous.
I'm sorry, someone very famous. I mean, I did check your IMDb. It's got entries.
Yeah. Have you heard of Titanic? I was in that. No, you know what? I have a friend of mine, David Butler. I don't know, Christian, if you know him. He and I have very similar voices, but...
Oh, I know who it is, I think.
Okay, who is it, Dan?
You sound a lot like, and this isn't a good comparison anymore, but the voice sounds a lot like TJ Miller.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Why? What
a little bit.
He had issues.
No,
I can hear it though. I do hear it, and it's because you have a California accent. Is part.
I got the California accent. I heard.
Yeah, but you got that you got a little bit of a raspiness, but also
it's good. It's a good voice.
Yeah.
I heard Jake Johnson one time.
I could see that. The accent's a little different, but I can see the voice being similar. Yeah.
The raspiness. My family, the raspiness is in my family. It's I and a lot of screaming in the car. Singing.
Honestly, Dan, I think you're like spot on. If you were drunk, Brendan, it would be like the exact same sound. You just need to slur your words a little bit, and you would sound just like DJ Miller.
That's great.
Because he always sounds like kind of fucked up.
I've been thinking about developing a debilitating drinking problem. So this is great news for me. I can make
everyone's favorite comedian.
There you go.
The guy who left Silicon Valley because he thought he was going to be huge when he was starring in the Emoji Movie.
Oh man.
Hey man, that was seen by a lot of people.
Yeah. And then what was it? He I think he did like a bomb threat, right? He did like a bomb threat, I believe, I remember to the subway line in either Los Angeles or San Francisco. I don't remember which metro line it was, but I believe he called in like a fake bomb threat or something, and he got like arrested for that.
It's just a joke, man. I'm just joking.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what he said.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was actually in 2016. He was arrested and jailed for allegedly assaulting an Uber driver.
I remember this actually.
And then he had sexual assault allegations, and then a bunch of email allegations as a transphobe. The list goes on. And then his Amtrak bomb incident. So yeah, that was only number 4.
Bomb.
I think I sound a lot more like Jake Johnson, actually.
No, but you know what? If the Emoji Movie ever gets a sequel,
that's true.
They can't hire him again.
Anymore.
That's
so
true.
you could do the voice role.
Oh man. Yeah, but it's DreamWorks. Hit me up. Was that DreamWorks?
I was going to say the fact that you know that it's DreamWorks.
That sounds honestly, it sounds like a DreamWorks. You know.
Wait, Brendan,
it might be Illumination.
You should just go into there and just be like, write emoji on the board, and then write an S with lines through it at the end.
Walk right past that picket line and go, you guys want a scab? Here he is.
Right past. God.
I'm seeing just Columbia Pictures, Sony Pictures Animation.
They should just get AI to write the emojis.
Well, this is why we have the picket line, because people are saying things like you're saying.
They should have just had AI write the movie.
Look,
Yeah.
it's emojis. Let the emojis write themselves.
I don't think that the AI can write very well, but that is one movie that I think that I do think can match pretty well.
This
I
would
agree.
actually be
Or
good
at
because
least
there's
just as
no
good.
way that movie could succeed. So people would then be afraid to use AI.
Yeah.
Oh,
Doing my suggestion was a favor.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Alex.
You
Actually,
can use this
that's a
on-
brilliant idea now that I think about it. That's actually the best idea I've heard all day. All right, let's talk about today's Pokemon.
What is it?
It's the 382nd Pokemon. It's Kyogre. Alex,
Yes.
I don't know if you've already looked it up, Brendan. I don't know if Dan has. I know
I have not
Alex
yet.
hasn't because he likes to be asked,
I do not.
"What do you think this Pokemon
We're not
looks
on
like?"
the set. We're not on the next season, right? This is still the end.
No, we have a few. This is the first of the 2 legendaries.
Oh, the legendaries.
Yes.
What season are we on? I mean, what games are we on?
These are Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I do not remember. So Kyogre, is this the green dragon?
No, that's coming up though. That's Rayquaza.
Then
Is
I
it
have
an ogre named
no
Kyle?
idea. Ryogre is an ogre.
Kyogre.
Kyogre.
KY.
KY. It's petroleum jelly ogre.
Great.
All
All right, I'm gonna give you one last hint.
It's a lube type.
This is the Pokemon that came on the box art for Sapphire. So one was for Ruby, one was for Sapphire.
Yeah.
There were blue and red games.
Is it the whale?
It is. It's the whale.
It's
There
the
you
whale
go.
one.
It's the whale.
You
It's
guessed
the
right,
whale.
it's the whale. So
I'll take it.
once you said that, Kyogre, I thought it was gonna be an ogre Pokemon.
Yeah.
With like a nice grimy boy, maybe with a long black hair like Kylo Ren, halfway between Shrek and Kylo.
They actually did an ogre Pokemon in the more recent ones, and it's pretty freaking awesome. It's also hideous, but so yeah, actually that brings up a good point because the first Pokemon Red and Blue, or in Japan it was Red and Green. It was, Charizard was on the cover, Venusaur was on the cover, and Blastoise. But then when they went to Generation 2 and on, they ended up doing like Gold and Silver, and it was, Lugia and Ho-Oh. So it's like they basically after the first game stopped using the starters and used the legendaries only for some reason. I don't know why.
Because it's only going to be 2 games.
Yeah,
Can't have 3.
I guess. Well, no, but then they would put out Emerald, right? Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald would have Rayquaza because it's green.
Yeah, but then aren't you like favoring 2 starters right out the gate?
They're always favorite. Yep.
Right.
That's absolutely what they're doing.
Mm.
It's which is interesting. They decided like America, we're not doing green. People don't want Venusaur. They want Blastoise because he has guns.
Knew where people
He's
were
got
gonna want
guns.
Venusaur.
I want the ones that look like America.
Yeah. Like
You want
you're gonna
guns or you
sell
want
the one
fire?
in America that doesn't have
Whoever-
guns. What are
And
you
I
doing?
want it red and blue.
Yeah, whoever made that decision, very smart.
Yeah, they
because
knew what they
out
were
of-
doing.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. Charizard fire, a fire-breathing dragon, and
Hell
a
yeah, brother.
gun-toting. I mean, seriously, come on. And there's Venusaur that's like on all fours like a bitch. come on.
Just being like, you could recycle more.
Yeah, with a flower on its back. Yeah, right. America. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
right.
Alex, if you want to pull up, I know it's your favorite thing to do is the name
Oh,
etymology.
that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Give us the
forgot all
origin
about
of the
it.
name.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I will say I think this is like a very cool looking Pokemon because it's just a giant flying whale.
Yeah, it's cool.
Does it fly through the air in Pokemon?
And yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
also
it's
pushes
badass.
you off
Pretty
the
sick.
stage in Super Smash Bros.
Yes, that's
I
right.
do remember that.
That's right. It is.
It's
one of those
also
Pokemon.
it's kind of top. I feel like this Pokemon does not care for charter ships or submarines.
no, yeah. He'd be out there with
Yachts.
Team Orca 100%.
Yeah,
The SSN is gonna get sunk by this.
he's like kind of a souped up orca.
So Brendan, I'm not sure if you're aware, but what is his name? Kyogre. Kyogre
Yes.
is a combination of. Usually on this show, we go through Bubblepedia name origins, and it says May be a combination, but this is definitive.
Oh, it says is? This is definitive.
says
Someone's
is.
sure
This
as
is
hell about
definitive.
this one.
So Kyogre is a combination of Kai, or the Japanese word for sea,
Oh.
or Ko, probably saying that wrong, king of the sea, and ogre. It may also involve orca. So that makes me think maybe this is a may, but they don't know what they're talking about.
I don't think,
But-
so in the description it says this is this.
Yes.
One of these options.
Or it may also be this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
So
why
they're
it
really
doesn't
only
say
short.
because they give you a bunch of choices.
Yeah. We definitely know what part of the name is from, is what they're saying.
I wonder if Kai is also no kayaks aren't Japanese, are they? I'm trying to think if that word comes from there too.
I have no idea
Alex, look it up.
where the word kayak came from. I would guess no, but
Gaia, like the
I
Earth.
have, no, kayak, like the website for when
Oh,
you
a
go traveling.
Kayak, kayak,
Or I
like
was
one
thinking
and
the
done
boat.
or whatever. Kayak.
Is that the first place your brain goes when you hear kayak? They've
I
successfully
mean, honestly,
rebranded that word.
I googled it, and the first two things that come up are the search, like the flight search, car rental, cheap flights, all that
I
shit.
mean, it's got to
and
be
then you
at
get
this
to
point.
actual kayaks.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
got
think the kayak, the word, is a hit on this
Okay.
until
Oh, well.
way down, way down.
wow.
It's a small, narrow, human-powered watercraft.
Oh,
I
man,
wasn't
want that
asking what a
Pokemon.
kayak was.
Wow.
I'm asking where the
So-
word came from.
All right, if you let me get to the goddamn second sentence, the word kayak originates from the Greenlandic word.
Land dick. What about water dick?
Greenlandic word
Fire dick.
hijack.
It's like dating a sea captain.
It's spelled
I got that fire dick.
Q-A-N-Q.
I didn't know Greenland. So Greenlandic was what, like the native language of Greenland? I'm
What it
assuming.
says.
I
Yeah,
don't think there is one.
I mean, well, it seems
Wouldn't
like
it
there
be
was
Danish?
one probably at
it's
some point.
Inuit.
Oh,
Oh.
so okay, so it's Native
That's what it
American.
says. It
All right.
That makes
says-
sense too. Okay.
Okay.
It says this article describes the phonological system of the Greenlandic language. It may be a combination of English and no, I made that up. So yeah,
Brilliant.
All right. Moving on.
you're welcome.
Well, I'm going to use this weird transition to just jump right into like what we've been doing. And I'm going to be rude and not ask Brendan first, even though it's the guest, because, you know, I'm not going to get a transition opportunity. Speaking of the Danes, Dan, this last weekend, I went up to Santa Barbara for a wedding, which was a great time, but I went to Solvang. And Solvang
Oh, God.
is this magical place in California. It is honestly, I can explain it to you, but it is something that until you go there, it's like hard to actually imagine, but it's like a small Danish town in California, and it looks like a European country was like airlifted and dropped, like just like
It
a
would have had
town
to be to
from
get
it.
the Danish there.
and
They
just dropped
did
right
not
there.
get all the way to California.
Dude, it's like they have a working windmill, like they have like horse-drawn carriages everywhere.
I'm imagining it.
Everything is like walkable, like on the streets from like place to place. It is
Does it look like the kingdom in Shrek?
it honestly, it looks like Disney made it. Like it almost doesn't look real. It kind of looks like you're walking through an amusement park, like someone built like an
Okay.
old-timey town as an amusement park, but
It's
people
like
actually
someone-
live there.
Yeah, dropped this for the purpose of making a really cute TikTok video.
Yes.
I had the perfect getaway weekend.
But it's not like a single street. It's a full town. And then even like the suburbs, I decided to just like explore a little more this time. Second time I've been. But some of the like actual like areas around it where they have a bunch of cul-de-sacs and stuff, there's a lot of houses. All of the houses look like that too.
That
It's-
sounds so sick. I'm also so pro like a city or town having just a town architecture type or like rules about what kind of building, because we're getting all of these just like square white buildings that are popping up everywhere.
All right. I live in one of those.
I know, that was why I was calling you out for that. But if you
I
ever
know
done
people look at my house and they hate it.
I would love to live in one.
Yeah.
but like you go to like I've been to Park City, Utah a couple times, and they all have like a color palette that they're allowed to paint their houses and stuff, and it turns into like it looks like you're inside of a snow globe. It's so sick.
I sort of appreciate that on a town level. but not on like an HOA level. I don't want.
Yeah.
As someone who currently lives in an HOA, is the worst. It's so unbelievably annoying, and I can't imagine if I had like a yard or something to deal with, and like imagine getting a letter in the mail and they're like, your grass isn't being cut frequently enough, or you're not keeping it in the proper condition, or like you leave your gate open at night. Like, it's like, could you imagine getting like
psychological thriller?
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm on like anti-HOA TikTok, and it's so funny the shit that people get in the mail.
Christian, have you seen The Fight Before Christmas?
I've never even heard of this. Has anyone else heard of this?
Sounds familiar.
Fight Before. I believe it's on Apple TV.
That's why it sounds familiar. I didn't see it. I've seen the preview.
It's a documentary about, I don't want to spoil who's the good guy and the bad guy, but there's a clear bad guy in this.
Okay.
And it's about this gentleman who moves into a neighborhood that has an HOA and starts doing a Christmas light show where people can come and get like hot chocolate and look at their Christmas lights. And then it turns into this feud between the HOA and this guy who has this Christmas light show. I don't want to spoil anything about it, but it is bonkers.
I would love this. I can
highly recommend.
I would love this. That sounds great. That sounds so good. All right. Well, I just want to bring that up because it was a lovely time. It was great. I love being there. And I went to Ostrich Farm nearby, which is always
I saw that. That was
one
all
of the
over.
coolest things. Have you ever like seen one up close? They're fucking huge.
Did you pet one?
Yeah, you gotta touch them. You
gotta.
I've been scared of ostriches since like Dude, Where's My Car? Because they're very aggressive in that movie.
and the episode of Scrubs as well is what I always think of. Where the guy has like the ostriches at his house. Those things, I mean, their feet, they look like, Velociraptor feet in Jurassic Park. They're fucking gigantic and they have like big ass claws on them. It's kind of weird, but it's pretty cool. All right, well, we'll go around the horn, starting with Brendan. You are the guest. What have you been up to? What's going on?
What have I been up to? Oh gosh, that's a good question. Today I was working a temp gig, and I drove from my area of town in the valley down to Santa Monica, and then from Santa Monica went up to back to Van Nuys to pick up some camera equipment, back down to Santa Monica. Then
this is awful.
And then also I was supposed to, but luckily it took too long to get this camera equipment because for some reason when I showed up, they hadn't paid for it or organized it at all. And it took me 45 minutes to get there. So I sit in this camera equipment place for 2 hours, and then I come back down to Santa Monica. Luckily at that point, it was too late for me to do what I was supposed to do, which was pick somebody up at LAX. So I've been in the car for about 6 hours. I'm ready to. Have you seen the end of Toy Story 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
The garbage scene. I'm ready to kind of just submit to the light.
You're in the car now.
I'm in the car. I'm ready to go. So yeah, that's the kind of mood I'm in right now. I am trying to think of other things that went down. I just started a new job, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. So that's one of those things. And I'm playing a lot of hockey. I play.
Brendan's on the he started the turbo team, the softball team until I got hurt.
I was not expecting just I've been playing a bunch of hockey. But
I started the turbo team, which is the softball team, on Monday nights, and then I'm on 2 different hockey teams. I play roller hockey twice a week. My Friday night is called the Ice Pack. Our uniforms look like Coors Light cans. And we just did the back-to-back repeat where we won championships 2 seasons in a row. Other team were the Milkmen. And we wear cow print jerseys, and all the other teams in the league don't like that because all the other teams have, like black jerseys or white jerseys. And we went with black jerseys and white jerseys. So it's very confusing, but we have a great time. And we are 2% better than every other team in the league. Oh, milk puns. We do them on the bench.
Oh my God.
I got it right away. I don't know what you guys are waiting for.
I did not get it right. I was thinking to myself, like 2%. That's quite the number.
So yeah, and then I photoshopped a little old timey photo of a milkman winking onto the uniform, and it says in cursive the milkmen. So there's like some subtle some old timey milkmen vibes on it. So I'm having a great time with hockey.
Are you champions in that league
very
too?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Are the milkmen champions as well?
The milkmen, we've been in that league for 3 seasons. It's one division higher than the ice pack, and
okay, so chances are skim.
Chances are skim, but we've been to the playoffs a whole bunch of times. And we but we have not won the championship yet.
Brendan, do you ever lounge? I feel like your life is on the go constantly.
Oh, dude, I think my mom is the same way where she can't sit too much, but I don't lounge too much. I play a lot of Overwatch. That's my lounging, which is also not relaxing.
Right.
There's so much going on. The most I do lounging is I'll watch a TV show here and there. Like I want to hang out by a nice pool every once in a while.
Okay.
Let this pale white pastiness get a sunburn because I skip the tan. I go right to burn.
You go right to burn.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So anyway, that's what I got going on.
That's a lot, which is great because I haven't seen you in a minute, so it's nice to catch up. Let's hear from Tuna. What's the word?
What's the word?
You were on last week, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't because Tom ran back the same questions. It was just me and you answering them.
Right.
Sorry. So what's been going on? Well, Zelda beat, done, finished. Have some thoughts on it.
Shrines.
Shrines, all done.
Oh, okay. So we're both. I'm totally done too now. Okay,
I'm done.
Great.
I'm done. I'm very close to being done with this game.
I'm
in the sense that I have some thoughts on this game. So it's kind of the same thoughts I had with Breath of the Wild. Basically, I'm just going to keep this short and sweet. The boss fight, while awesome and visually much better than the one in Breath of the Wild, I felt underwhelming. I can't stand that when they still have this holdover.
Do you just mean like the end of it, though?
Yes, the end.
Okay, but
because before that part,
but isn't it a whole package?
It still isn't amazing.
Okay,
I still don't think it's amazing. Okay. All right. So then the other thing I just wanted to say was there's a huge problem in this game where I feel like they're having me do things that I've already done. Like last game, I already got all those articles of clothing, right? Like I already did a lot of these missions. I've already done a lot of this stuff. Like it's
Breath of the Wild remix.
It is kind of Breath of the Wild remix.
Yes.
And I guess so that takes like the exploration part out of it completely and the discovery and all that. I've said that before. And then the other part I felt like is that, yes, did I put a lot of hours into this game? Absolutely. I played it probably more than any other game, maybe since the last Breath of the Wild or God of War, another game that I love. But I find they've mastered the dopamine release in my brain of, okay, I completed a task, I can see another task, or I have like a backlog of tasks I have to do, like go to these shrines, map out the depths, check out the islands. So it keeps you playing for hours. But in terms of like the story was good, right? But in terms of like this, like I feel like Zelda needs to maybe I don't know. Zelda might need to grow up a little bit in the narrative, storytelling, engaging aspect of the game. Like the mechanics are cool, the missions are cool, the shrines are cool, but the story and everything surrounding it, what you have to do, like the pacing, and I get that it's an open world game and the pacing is going to be off, but I just think it needs to grow up a little bit, man. I just think it needs to grow up just a little bit. That's really all I have to say. Still a fun game. Still had a great time. Still going to try to complete it as much as I can. But those were my 2 cents. And that's all on top of the fact that it is probably the longest, like the most hours I've put into a game. Period. Like I stayed up late playing it because I don't really get a lot of time.
Yeah.
To play it, but so that's my 2 cents.
I mainly agree with you, except the problem is
Yeah.
I still think it might be the best video game I've ever played.
See, I don't
like I think it's better than Breath of the Wild. Like, it's hard to say that because of the fact that like there are elements missing, like the discovery, because I kind of did that in Breath of the Wild. But like, if I had not played either, and someone was like, which should I play? I'd say, don't play Breath of the Wild, just play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, you know what's really funny? I would say that as well. I would say don't play Breath of the Wild. Just you could probably play one or the other, and Tears of the Kingdom is much better in that sense. And I would say that would be amazing to just.
They improved the story a lot more in Tears of the Kingdom than in Breath of the Wild.
I wish I could have just played Tears of the Kingdom and not played Breath of the Wild.
Yes,
because
this
Breath of the
feels
Wild
like a DLC. Yeah, it feels like a DLC that's the size of a game.
But it ruined. Like Breath of the Wild kind of ruined a lot of things for Tears of the Kingdom in the sense that, like I said, like you're collecting the same shit, you're getting the same weapon. You know, I mean, the fusing is cool, but well, not when you have to upgrade shit and you're fusing stuff, but you also want to save stuff because you want to upgrade stuff so that you can, whatever. But like that whole sense of like I have to do the map again. What do you mean I have to do the map again? I know the map. I'm fucking Link. I live here. It's like the fuck. So,
okay,
that's it. No, go ahead.
I was you just kind of described like I almost feel like if they called it Breath of the Wild 2, like Galaxy Super Mario Galaxy 2 rather than the jump from Galaxy
that
to
is what
Odyssey,
it is.
Where it's like it builds off the same engine and the same mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that would make you feel differently from the jump.
Maybe. It's very I mean, I wish, honestly, what's funny to me is that I had a great time in the Sky Islands, and I almost wish that whole aesthetic was just the game. And the depths were taken out, because I still hate the depths. I think the whole thing is stupid.
Did you light up all the things? Because I didn't light up all the things
yet. Did light up all the things.
I'm missing like 30, and I just got tired of it.
It was so stupid. I spent a bunch of hours doing it, because the completionist in me was like, I gotta do it.
You beat all the Colosseums?
No.
I did do that, but I left like 30 light things. So I said, fuck this.
I have one Colosseum. I guess it's a Colosseum. I have the
floating one.
No, that one I did.
Oh, okay.
The one that's all the way at the top.
The 5 Lionels. You gotta get the 5. Yeah.
So I did that. The one I'm talking about is all the way in the north.
Oh, to like near the Lost Woods.
KG.
Yeah.
It's KG. Do you know what I'm saying?
KG.
Those are its
we have no idea what you're saying.
There's a battle that I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose.
Yes.
Or at least I need to be stocked up before I do it.
You don't need to worry about spoiling. It's a King Gleeok.
All right, fine. There's a King Gleeok up at the top. The problem with the depths is that when you get hit, not only do you lose life, but you lose the ability. You lose those hearts.
Yeah.
So you need something that replenishes the heart container. Otherwise, you're fucked, and I'm going to get fucked. So that's the only thing I haven't done. But my point is that the depths is so big with really not a lot to do. But I just wish that the Sky Islands was more of like a real world.
There's too few of them.
Right. Just make that the game.
There should have been a ton more. Yeah.
There should have been just a floating thing, and I would have been cool with that, and that would have been great. But again, like I said, this is all on the back of I put more hours into this game than any other game. So I can't,
The one thing I want to say, and this will be the last thing we say about it, because you mentioned that you thought the final fight was disappointing. I agree with like the last stage of the final fight was too easy. The second
phase of the final fight was stupidly easy.
But man, first of all, you have to like fight a bunch of really hard enemies just to get to the like trigger point of the actual like.
This is also true.
End of it, which was like pretty tough on its own just to get there.
It was good.
But then there's a moment that's like the closest thing that I've ever seen in Zelda to like there being like a big battle where it's like you and other people versus like like it was basically like you're like up against an army. Like I've never fought in a fight like that in a Zelda game ever before, and it was definitely like the most cinematic and like action-packed thing I think I've ever done in a Zelda game. And I thought that was fucking cool.
You know what always bothers me, and then we can leave this. What always bothers me about this game, and I think with the exception of maybe Wind Waker, is that Ganondorf is kind of like chilling in his lair, not wrecking shit. And he's just like waiting for Link. Whereas like Wind Waker, they tried to be like, well, he's got this lookout point that he has his head of operations at and everything. It still doesn't.
Wind Waker still is my favorite story.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still, for me, it's just, I think Zelda really they tried, but I really think they need to grow up a little bit more.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
We've got games like God of War, The Last of Us. It's time to grow up a little bit.
The problem is you can't make it too adult because then kids can't play it.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't need to make it too adult, but you can flesh it out and really. Also, I don't know.
I think that's an issue of the open world concept. Right? The more games are just like do anything in any order you want, suddenly it becomes impossible to tell like a very
story.
So it's
I just want Zelda GTA. I want Zelda going through San Andreas.
I mean, that is a little bit of what we have, but it's just not in San Andreas.
I want
GTA in VR.
Well, I tried driving VR. It got nauseous.
Yeah, I mean, when I got the PSVR 2, I got sick. Like after I couldn't do it for more than 30 minutes, like for the first day or two. And then games where like I move with the control stick instead of like teleporting or actually walking around, I couldn't do that for more than like 10 or 15 minutes. After about 2 weeks, they call it your VR legs. I thought it was bullshit. After about 2 weeks, I did it every day. I can do it for hours now. And like, it only takes a minute or two. My brain's like, oh, you're good with this now. Like the first minute or two I put it on. And I'm the kind of person, like I get like motion sick on like roller coasters and boats, like very easy. So there is like a weird thing. Your brain will just get used to it. You just kind of have to do it regularly. And then you suddenly like are acclimated.
I had a game that stopped me from playing VR because I was kind of enjoying it. I was playing like Beat Saber and stuff, and I was enjoying it. And then I played this game that was so fun, but I would get like full on throw up nauseous from it called Echo Arena VR.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
It was so much fun, but like one game of that, and it was like an hour. It was double the amount of time nauseous.
Yep.
Yeah, that was me playing even not VR games like Bug Snacks and Borderlands games. Like my head just can't handle them. I just get nauseous playing them.
That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate because there have been games where I was like, "Oh, Dan, you should play this." You're like, "Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna fucking vomit if I play that game."
Yeah, like 20 minutes in, I'm like, "This is a good game," and like 25 minutes in, I'm like, "Whoa, okay."
Do you have an Oculus, Brendan?
I have a yes, but it's an outdated one. I have a Quest 1.
The Quest 1. Yeah, that's what Alex has too. Which he has again now that he found it.
Heck yeah.
So, well, awesome. Dan, what's been happening?
Well, hold on. Wait.
Oh.
I just wanted to plug, and by plug I mean I didn't make it or anything, but it's my favorite show on right now. The Bear is back. Season 2.
Yeah,
Incredible season. So if we're 7 episodes in, the Christmas episode was
can't talk about that.
Insane.
I haven't started it yet, but I'm going.
Oh my god, the Christmas episode was fucking insane, but great.
Yeah.
And episode 7 was really good too. And that's all I want to say. But Dan, I'm very jealous of what Dan is going to tell you in the next couple minutes.
Finished The Bear. I really don't know what he was going to. Was that it?
No.
Okay.
What'd you do 2 days ago?
When we hung out or some other shit?
If it was that you hung out, like I'm really jealous.
What did I do 2 days ago?
Him hanging out with me.
No, seriously, what did I do? Oh, shit. Okay, I already forgot because I've been sick the last day and a half, so like my brain turned off.
Christ.
I'm like, Alex, you making shit up? You think about something else?
I hung out with Tuna over the weekend, which he didn't even mention. We hung out for our friend's birthday. Went to Big Daddy's, which Chris has been to.
I had to prioritize the importance.
I'm gonna get to. I'm going chronologically.
All right.
We played some beer pong. We played some fuck the dealer. Tuna got fucked. Went home early. He got drunk as shit.
Early. I went home at like 12:30. Ridiculous.
Yeah, we left at 2:30.
Stayed out till like 2:30.
By the way, stayed out.
He has a child.
We were hanging out.
I have a young child.
We were hanging out at a firehouse. We weren't actually out.
The next morning to take care of her is when she woke up. Jesus.
That's fine. I don't have kids, so I can stay out.
Anyway,
what he's jealous of. So
this now makes sense because I got a text from someone who you guys were out with at like. It was after midnight my time, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
It was like 3 o'clock in the morning here.
So that
was
makes
it.
sense now.
But
I'm
hold on,
curious who that was.
Dan,
We'll talk about that after.
So Dan,
So,
what did you do 2 nights ago?
On Monday, I at work I get emails sometimes, and it's like, oh, enter to win concert tickets. So I did,
Ooh.
and so I went. I think everyone who entered won actually because they didn't sell out. So Tears for Fears on Monday, and that's like Tuna's favorite band. I invited him. I did invite Tuna.
The one fucking night that Brit she had graduation ceremony.
Oh.
So she's a teacher.
Yeah.
She's a teacher. She had graduation ceremony that night, and I was home, obviously, to watch the kid. And I could because you texted
Where's Grandma?
It was last minute.
The stupid drawing says like
What's
enter
Grandma
by
doing?
4, you'll find out by 5 p.m.
He invited us. Yeah, he invited me at like 4:30.
Oh, the same day.
Same
yeah,
day.
that's when I found out about the whole thing.
If it was like the day or so before, I could have.
I got an email at like 2 in the afternoon saying enter by 4, and we'll let you know by 5. I'll let you know when I knew.
Wow.
I can't do anything more than that.
How was the show?
The show was pretty good. They apparently had never played Madison Square Garden before.
MSG?
So that was their first time.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I sent Tuna like a about 40-second clip of the concert.
Shout. Yeah. Good.
That is pretty cool.
Very jealous.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Pissed.
They had like a hired hand guitarist just for like I guess this tour or maybe just the concert, and they were saying he was the only one of them that had played MSG before, and he had a bad experience because it was when Sinead O'Connor got booed off stage in the 90s right after she had been on SNL and burned the picture of the Pope.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, wow, that's fucking wild. Like, it's not his fault at all, I guess, but yeesh.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, good concert. And then I got sick and I've been like recovering. I feel a lot better now than I did yesterday, and I still sound like crap, so pretty sure it's just a cold.
Brendan, let me ask something. Were you born in the 80s, 90s,
or today? No, sorry, that's just like when you listen to the station.
Yeah.
I was born in the 90s.
Early 90s or late 90s?
Early 90s.
All right, early 90s.
The late 1900s.
This is. I asked this question of every guest we've ever had on the show.
Okay.
Were you a Nickelodeon watcher?
Yes.
What was your favorite Nickelodeon show?
SpongeBob, followed by Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh wow! See, you are of the later Nickelodeon generation.
Yeah, but I did. Backing it up a little bit though, I was a huge Guts, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
What would you do, fan?
What? Okay.
Which makes sense.
Right.
You're a very active person.
Make sense. Yeah, you are a very active person.
Yeah, that's where I got it. I was like,
you wanted a piece of the aggro crack, so you've been working your whole life for it.
I wanted to live a life that Summer Sanders would have something to put on the Figure It Out board for.
Hell yeah. Well, you could always just collect belly button lint, put it in a jar.
That's true. That show was nasty.
Yeah, that show was fucking weird. That was a weird fucking show. I have the largest toe jam collection in the country.
Yeah, that's like the weirdest people on earth.
Don't tell people that.
Lori Beth Dimberg, what do you think?
Lori Beth Dimberg.
That was the height of Lori Beth Denver's career.
No, yeah. I mean all that had to be the height
that and her like quick appearance in Dodgeball.
I was about to mention that. Isn't it wild though that like Keenan was on all that and then just graduated to the adult show.
He's been in sketch comedy since he was like 8.
Yeah,
crazy.
And then
he's the king of it now. He's the longest running member of SNL.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's the king of SNL.
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to like take over the show once Lauren is done with it. I think that's why. I think that he was like going to leave, and then I could be peddling nonsense right now.
It seems like one of those people that's going to live forever, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, you know? What if Keenan was one of us?
Keenan makes such a great. I'm sure he makes probably a good amount of money. He's not like in all these. He doesn't have an exhaustive schedule. He's not making all these movies or whatever. Not trying to go out on his own, being like I'm so famous.
Well,
he did that when he was like 12.
There is a lot. There is a lot suggesting that.
Oh wait,
it's of note that only like the white actors from SNL have had other careers, and it's not like he is choosing to not have big blockbuster movies where he's making millions of dollars.
Oh, I thought he was staying because it was like this is a pretty good.
See, he's not as marketable as basically.
Didn't he just start dating like a 20-year-old?
Keenan.
Kel.
No. Oh, wait, what?
Wait, what?
Oh, he has a show called Keenan.
Didn't that show get canceled?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I
don't know, but I don't think I think he's. I think there have been attempts to like branch him out, and they haven't worked. But I don't know, like. It just doesn't. A lot of people have made points over the last few years to say, like, it doesn't seem like he's been given the same fair shake that some of the other actors from SNL have been given.
I thought that because if it were me, right? Because I've got like a little lazy streak in me, I would be content with the SNL track, just doing the show, making the nice, guaranteed income. People like me. I'm, everything's good, and just being like, yeah, I'll just be the longest. I'll be a trivia question in Trivial Pursuit someday. Longest running cast member of SNL.
That is a good Trivial Pursuit.
I would want to do
question.
The opposite. I would want to do the Jenny Slate route of go on, curse on my first episode,
never see you again,
and then never see me again.
That's also a Trivial Pursuit question. One and done.
One and done.
In the Los Angeles roller hockey scene, is the knuckle puck prevalent?
What would the knuckle puck be?
So in Mighty Ducks 2, Keenan, his character, flips the puck on its like edge and then takes a slap shot, and the puck does knuckleball type shit, which is obviously bullshit.
Okay, so here's the puck sometimes goes on its side, and that's bad. That's always bad news. However, sometimes when I shoot, I accidentally do a knuckleball, and it works kind of better. Like the goalies kind of do that quick thing where they're like, "Go for it," and then they're like, "It's still on its way."
Yeah, it's like a little change up.
And then they get tired. They put their arm down, and then it goes in the goal. And everyone's like, "Brendan, you're so good at shooting."
Yeah, this in the movie he takes it. It's like a hard slap shot, and it keeps going like this, up and down, all the way to the net. Yeah,
that's sick.
I thought Keenan was sitting on that Nickelodeon Good Burger money and was just like, yeah.
Well, they're doing Good Burger too.
They are doing
and
it.
Kel's gonna be in
I saw Kel on
great.
Guy's Grocery Games the other day.
I don't want to be rude, but like that movie feels like Keenan's doing Kel a favor.
It does sound like that. Okay, so here's the thing. What would you want out of a Keenan and Kel, or sorry, a Good Burger remake? Because there was a show that I liked that
sequel or remake? Because this is gonna be a sequel.
It's a sequel. Because I was gonna say, like, I feel like who's the audience for Keenan and Kel? It's the people that grew up with it. So I think like rated R comedy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think go real gritty.
And then you bring back
it's like a hostage situation at the Good Burger.
That sounds pretty good. I would like the show that you were just talking about with the chef. Oh gosh.
The bear.
The bear. I want the bear, but Good Burger.
Like a grungy, like Good Burger show? That'd be fucking amazing. Sick. I'd watch that. That would be super good.
If they want to make Keenan and Kel for like Netflix, a one season, one off Keenan and Kel remake, go for it. I'm in. I'd watch it.
That show, I don't know if you can remake it. It's just such. That show was, while we liked it at the time, a piece of shit.
Yeah, but
it was basically one joke.
It was the same joke every
not,
time. It was like Kel loves orange soda and he's gonna make a mess in the store.
Yeah,
hold on, but what's the bit with orange soda? Because I can't remember. I always forget it.
That was it. It was just he loves orange soda.
It's so good.
Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
Yes, he does.
I do. Ooh.
I saw that movie with you, Alex.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we did.
Yeah, we saw that in theaters together.
The Good Burger movie, by the way, that's a separate skit. Good Burger's a separate skit. That was from
yeah,
Snick.
that's true. That's from the Keenan and Kel. Keenan and Kel TV show is pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Yeah,
put it back on Netflix or something. One season.
I want Keenan's career to take off again.
I'm into it.
I just feel like Keenan has been constantly in my life since I was like, born.
I think we kind of we don't appreciate it as much as we should.
Remember when he had the on All That, he was the guy in the bathtub, and he was like
Pierre Escargot.
Pierre Escargot.
Yes, Pierre Escargot.
Learning
and also,
French with Pierre Escargot.
Kel had what was like one of my favorites, which was Repairman.
Yeah.
I loved
Repairman.
And he just shows up and fucking trashes everything.
Yeah.
I went back and watched some clips from the Amanda Show. Some like really solid bits.
Yeah, there was some funny shit in that show.
The
Amanda Show had some funny stuff.
The Judge Judy bit where she always ends it with like, "How am I bringing the dancing lobsters?" is like, I know that it's been oversaid at this point, but that's such a great bit.
It is. I have to agree. That's very good.
Who would you bring it
right.
back with, though, if you're bringing back the Amanda show? Because I don't think Bynes is really available.
Yeah, I don't think she's available.
Who's the vehicle for Lauren Lapkus?
I don't know who you get.
Bring back all that with the original cast. See what they can do.
Yeah.
Have you opened those DVDs they got you or no?
They make a joke immediately about his multiple children. I mean, it's
you could just make a new all that with his children.
Yeah,
it's just the Nick Cannon show. It's the Cannons.
The Cannons.
My God. All right, let's pivot. We have some listener mail. I have a quick game for us to play, and I'm just gonna do 2 bits of news. Let's do 2 bits of news. We got some video game news. The first one is short and sweet. And Alex, it's the first thing I've ever heard Nintendo say about a new console, possibly. First of all, the fact that they're even talking about like a future console. This hardware is very old. The Switch feels very old. I mean, it wasn't it was
not my OLED.
Yeah, I know.
Feels great.
Yeah, you got to keep telling yourself that because you bought a brand new one like a year before the new one's coming out. But it seems like it's definitely going to be next year. But one of the guys, I didn't pull the quote up, but ultimately what was said is they are not going to be changing like their online services. So like whatever your accounts are and everything, that means it's all just going to roll into the new console. Everything's going to work the same, which means the biggest question, of course, has been like, all my games that I bought and digital stuff, that's all going to move forward, right? Because every fucking Nintendo system, it's like they got to do something stupid that's different, and they can't ever just keep this good thing going. I just want a better version of this. Just give me a better version of the Switch, do nothing else to it, and I would be very happy. And it seems like that might be the case, because they also said something about how the transition will be like very smooth. So that's nothing they've ever said before. You know, whenever they talk about new consoles, it's always like, we're going to revolutionize gaming. You're going to play games in a way you've never played them before. And this time they're like, hey, all your stuff's just going to transition over to the new console.
Mm-hmm.
So what would warrant it being a new console? Is it just going to be the Switch 2?
That's what it should be.
Put a number next to the Switch. And
that's what it should be. I mean, the hardware on it is really dated. You know, like it the only reason it runs any modern games is because like it has such a large install base, but it runs them unless it's like a game that's made for the Switch. If it's something that comes out anywhere else, it runs them really poorly. And like they had to tone all of the graphics down, like all of the effects are turned off. It's running at a super low resolution, and it's like just barely hitting 30 frames a second. Like,
have you played Cult of the Lamb?
Cult of the Lamb's a cool game.
It's a great game. Another one of those where it's like you always see the next task you can do, so it keeps you playing forever. But it on my Switch was like there were some performance issues with that game, and the graphics are like 2D on 3D.
It doesn't have enough memory is definitely one of the problems. Like that's one of the biggest things you run into with like older hardware. It's like, oh, like maybe it doesn't need the processing power to run Cult of Lamb, but Cult of Lamb has a bunch of stuff on screen and enough things happening at once that like this just doesn't have the RAM. Like there's just there's no temporary memory to like dump this stuff for you to play the games. Like they're just going to be coming out with oh fuck, now my brain is blanking. Alex, what's that game that we loved, that PC game, the indie one with
Description?
You have like a billion things on screen at once, like you're the dude and you pick up the weapons.
Survivors?
Yes, Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors is now coming to Switch soon, which means like they basically there's no reason that is coming later other than the fact that they had to deal with getting that to run on the Switch, right? Because the second you probably had that screen loaded up, it would probably it would be crawling. It wouldn't be looking good or moving smoothly or anything. So I'm excited to hear that it sounds like we might just be getting a Switch 2, because I think that's what everyone wants. The one thing I would like them to do is to put a chip in the dock so when I plug it in and play on the TV, it can run things a little better. But also, and more importantly, right now there's no good way to play Nintendo DS or 3DS games, and there are so many amazing Nintendo DS games And like we have like the virtual Game Boy now and the Game Boy Advance and the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo, but there's no way to do the dual screens. If they put a chip in the dock, then we could realize the original idea of the Wii U, which was like, oh, you have the tablet thing and you have the thing on the console. It's like we could then actually play a 3DS game by doing the bottom screen on the touch screen that you're holding, and your TV would be the top screen of the DS or the 3DS. So that's what I'm hoping they solve that for the next one, because there's a bunch of games that are on those two consoles that are like amazing, and it'd be weird for those games to just, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you can't play them anywhere. If you want to play those games, you just got to go buy an old console and then like buy a used copy of it, which all Nintendo stuff. Yeah,
they did, like,
yeah, exactly.
when it came out.
Like, I'm not spending, you know, $50 on a 12-year-old piece of hardware. It's just never going to happen for a single game, you know? So, the other thing, there's a lot of stuff. Alex, you should actually read about some of this, because you might find it interesting, because you interned at the FCC, right?
I did.
Well, because Microsoft is, you know, they're trying to buy Activision Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now in Discovery, there's a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of emails and things, because, you know, the argument is being made, they don't want Microsoft to buy these companies because it's going to create unfairness in the marketplace and all this other stuff. I'm kind of like, I'd prefer these companies to not just continue to get bloating and get bigger, but at the same time, like, to pretend like Xbox is anywhere near the level of market share of Sony or Nintendo is like a joke. So it's kind of like whatever I think is ultimately going to be the result. But they're showing stuff like in emails, like they apparently thought about and looked into buying Sega at one point. They were going to buy Bungie. There are like emails talking about like games that are coming out that like haven't been revealed yet that are apparently going to be exclusives to Xbox. Like there's an upcoming game that there is like in development that's going to be exclusive. And the Indiana Jones game, which was announced, we haven't seen anything of it, but apparently the people who have seen it, there's a couple like internal emails. So these aren't things that are like being hyped up to us. They were just like found in Discovery. And, you know, journalists, the quote was like, this is one of the best games I've ever seen. Ooh. Like when they were talking about the Indiana Jones game. And that's why they apparently paid a ton of money to make it exclusive, because it originally wasn't going to be an exclusive game. So I'm pretty, I mean, look, the Uncharted games are cool. So the idea of getting one that's not this like, you know, knockoff brand of Indiana Jones,
right,
and getting the actual Indiana Jones, I think that's exciting.
I kind of miss when movie related games were just like copies of actual games, just like the movie shit put in. Like you were watching it and it was like, oh, he needs to go collect the rings, and he finds chests he dances on and goes through loop-de-loops, and it's like, oh, so it's Sonic. It's Sonic, but you put him in Indiana Jones.
I mean, that's like what that Temple Run game is basically like Sonic with Indiana Jones is Temple Run on your phone. But yeah, there otherwise isn't a whole lot. There's others. If Tom was here, Tom's our other host, he works at GameSpot. I'm sure he'd want to talk about some other stuff, but I don't think there's anything that would be of large interest. And we have some listener mail that's going to be more fun to do. So let's go and do that. You can call and leave us a voicemail, 805-738-8692, or you can go to our Discord and go to questions for the pod, or you can send us an email to email@unrankedpodcast.com. I'm going to go to our Discord. Let's see. I've been loving the voicemails we get. I'm getting a lot of voicemails lately. They are my favorite. All right. So there's a question from Psych Mike. He says, what's a game you've owned for a while, or one you've always said you'd get around to playing, but haven't for whatever reason?
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, like the new one on PS5?
Yeah, the one that the one that you played, the one that I started and literally just got through like the tutorial section and then stopped and then never picked it up again.
Yep. Okay.
So there's mine.
That's really good. That's very good. I mean,
and it's true.
You're going to be like, what the fuck when I say this, but God of War Ragnarok, because I never finished the original God of War before it came out. And so then I was like, I'm going to beat this now before Ragnarok comes out, instead of just watching a YouTube video. So then I spent a lot of time playing that game. And then by the time I was like done with God of War, I really didn't want to play God of War Ragnarok. was kind of burned out on doing that. And so I was like, I'll come back to this. And I have not come back to that game.
Yeah, that's kind of as if like you played Breath of the Wild, it did everything that you did, and then started Tears of the Kingdom being like, wait a second, the fuck?
Which is why I haven't picked up my Jedi Survivor game. Like I got through the tutorial, and Tears of the Kingdom came out a few days later, and I was like, I'll just stop here, and whenever I feel like playing this now, I'll be able to just jump right into the game and not have to get through that whole, like hour and a half of like boring teach me how to play stuff, which they really just, all games have to get so much better at that. Stop making me do this. Just make like a on the menu screen, like a I haven't played this before button, and it'll give you like a training thing, and then just put me in the game. Otherwise, don't make me do that.
I remember when I was a kid and I played Kingdom Hearts 2. And I think that there's about a 2-hour period before you get to actually do anything in that game. And it's just like, come on, please.
But that's such a small slice of that game.
It is. It's even worse. Makes it worse.
Dan, do you have any games you have thought about or have? And
for me, like Breath of the Wild, I started playing it. I played it, and I was streaming it at the time.
That's right.
But then my computer went to shit, and I was like, oh, I'll pick it up again when I get my computer back. And that was like, I got my PC back like 6 months later. It finally started working. Because they took
that's such a long time to stop and start a game. Like
that's why I never went back. It was too late by then. I was mentally out of it.
That makes sense.
And then now, I'm definitely not going back.
That makes sense.
That's mine.
How about you, Brendan?
Yeah, I just went through my Steam. I've played most of these, but I am looking at Deceit right now.
What is Deceit?
Deceit is kind of, this was like pre Among Us's big like coming out. Where it's a game that is like you're going through a series of tasks and stuff like that, but one person is like this monster, but they're hiding as a person, and you go through, because it's like very Among Us, but it's definitely more, it's first person, it's very dark and horror themed. That I wasn't a PC-er at that point, and I got that game and my PC couldn't run it. So I went out slowly and got all the pieces to make a PC that could run it. And by that time that I got all that stuff, my group of friends that was playing Deceit was no longer playing Deceit. So, but it's in net gain, I prefer PC to console at this point.
You did you ever play Tunic?
I played the first like couple hours of it. It's really cool.
Oh, you got to get back to that.
Yeah, I got to jump back into that.
You got it. Brendan. So Alex, Brendan is the guy that I told you about last, like a year and a half ago when Inscription came out, that I was like talking about all the time. Brendan, Alex is the guy I told you about, who I was like, I had to turn on my PC and set it up so he could virtual in, because it wasn't on. He didn't have a PC to play it, and it wasn't on anything else yet. So he played remotely off of my PC from his iPad.
So Christian and I, you picture us in 2 white button-down shirts with little name tags like Mormons that say Church of Inscription, going door to door across this country and telling people about how incredible Inscription is. That was me for like 2 years.
That's accurate.
2 years.
That's accurate.
I could not stop telling people about how great Inscription is. And dude, I mean, like I went back and I played The Hex, which is also Daniel Mullins, the previous game. Really, really great too. I mean, it's definitely earlier in Daniel Mullins' like evolution, but if you enjoyed the really cool stuff about Inscription, The Hex is another great game to jump into.
You gotta go back to Tunic, because there's an element of discovery to it that rivals everything that's in the Inscription. Because the last time I felt anything like I felt like when I played Inscription was when I also played Tunic, and it's now, like, Inscription is one of my favorite games I've ever played, and I think Alex would agree with me on this.
Yeah,
pretty incredible.
It's definitely on my list to hop back into. There's also, speaking of games that made me feel the way that I felt when I played Inscription, have you played, I mean, not all the way obviously, but have you played Case of the Golden Idol?
Oh, I did, because you recommended this in our chat. That's right. We have a chat with some other former guests of the show, like Emily, Matt, and John.
That's true. What'd you think of it?
I really like this game. I think I recommended this game to Alex as well, but he doesn't have a way to play it because it's not. It might be available, I think, on Switch now, or
what is it called?
Coming to it. Case of the Golden Idol. I don't know if it's out of if it's full release or not, because at the time it was still early access.
Yes.
But it's a point and click like murder mystery, but like each story is like connected as well, so you're following a story thread, and each like chapter is like a new murder mystery. I got
It's on the
stuck.
Switch.
Oh, it is. You should play it.
Highly
You
recommend.
should play it. I'll go back and finish it as well, so then we can talk about it.
Yeah, if you finish it,
It's like Monkey Island.
A little bit.
It's every scene. There's like a little bit of motion, so you can kind of see that there was a scene that happened, and you kind of click and you get new pieces of knowledge. But as you click, it becomes the evidence that you use to write in the sentence specifically of what happened in that situation. And again, in terms of like discovering things as the game's going on, there's a through line where like the first few scenes, they seem pretty, you know, on their own island. It slowly becomes a full narrative as you play the game. It's really cool.
And this is like some Dark Ages shit, and there's like some occult stuff in it, so it's like cool. Like the story's cool. You'd like it. I actually think Dan might like this game too, because it is like a point. You might like this. It's a point and click, sort of like a puzzle game. It's like a weird story.
You know what reminded me? It reminds me of just like, I know it's not probably nothing like it, but I played Myst for like an hour once, and then went, I'm gonna have to come back to this, and I never did that one either. That is a giant puzzle game that would take much longer than that.
The mini golf game I've been telling you about, Walkabout Mini Golf, that I've been playing in VR. The amazing thing about it is just how many courses they have, but now they're doing like IP courses. So one of the ones that's coming out is the island from Myst is going to be a mini golf course. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
I would be able to recognize the island. I would not be able to solve anything.
I'm excited for that. Okay, let's do another question. From Narcus.
One word. God.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, for a one-word answer question, that turned into one of the longest answers we've given.
We're supposed to do it in one word?
No, I'm just saying.
It could be.
It could have been.
Yeah, well, that would be great entertainment for everyone listening to this. Just hear us, like, literally just sit there and go, Myst. Move on.
Yeah.
All right, Narcus. Not sure if this has been asked, but if you could drive around in any vehicle from a video game, what would you choose? Mine would be the drifter bike from Days Gone, because I've always wanted to ride bikes, and this is something similar to what I would want if I was going for something that isn't something that I could get. It would be Cloud's Hardy Daytona from Final Fantasy VII. Okay, so he's into motorcycles. So those sound
pretty good.
One word answer, and it's Yoshi.
That is good.
I like it.
I guess good. He's technically a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
A cute vehicle.
I want to fly the Banshee from Halo.
Oh, I love the Banshee.
It seems like it would be easily maneuverable because you're in it. Like, your body is basically the ship. Because it's like
the Banshee would be easily maneuverable in real life?
Well, it clamps on your body, so it makes me feel like it's not a huge
I feel like that's just like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die in this thing.
What are you talking about?
I have no escape. I'm just gonna die in this fucking thing when we crash.
I mean, yeah.
That's really good, because I will say it's hard to not pick. Like the cheap answers would be something like, you know, from like a Star Wars game or something, you know, that which is kind of like, you know, Titan's cool, because my first thought was like one of the robots from like a Gundam game or BattleTech, because piloting a mech would be fucking sick. So Titan's a great. That's actually a better answer than the Mantis. The Mantis in Halo is fucking cool too, dude.
Yeah,
it does that stomp.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, the R-Wing. I want to fly Fox's R-Wing, because it's so maneuverable in that game, and it's got shields and stuff, so like you can bump into things, you're not just gonna explode, so long as you don't just dive into the ground. That like it goes in space, so you can just take it out into space, not worry about.
Yeah, so you know, same thing with the Banshee. You can hit a wall, and it just kind of goes dink.
Oh, dude, in the first Jack and Daxter game, there's a like hoverboard that you got to go through the fiery like island place with. That would be a sick ride.
I mean, there's also, I guess, from Tears of the Kingdom, like one of the several contraptions I've made would be fun. Like, or the classic hover bike that everyone makes in Tears of the Kingdom would be good.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
What about let's see, like a Pokemon? You can fly.
Ride a Pokemon. Yeah, that's
You
true.
can
Like
ride
the
a
never ending
Pokemon.
story, but a Pokemon.
I mean, it would
I mean,
have
I'd
to be
have
Lapras
I can get a
for me then.
Lapras and just have it.
Yeah,
That's my
right.
vehicle.
That's the classic. You got to ride Lapras or the
Mm.
SSN before Kyogre gets to it. All right, from Big Boss Nasty. Have you tried the Grimace Shake yet? I'm gonna guess no while staying in that lane to ask what your favorite one-off or promotional food items are. Additionally, if you can make your own IP flavor variant of food or drink, what would it be? All right, that's two different questions. So,
has anyone seen, before we even get into this question, the TikTok fucking memes people are making?
yes.
I was gonna say we're alive, so we haven't had the Grimace Shake.
Alex,
We'll do that on
refuses to download
Saturday
TikTok,
for the Power Hour. We'll do Grimace Shake instead.
Oh no, no, I don't want to be throwing up.
What promotional thing? I made my mom buy the ketchups that were different colors.
Those
Remember
are
this?
sick.
They came out with like the purple
green ketchup and the
Yeah.
purple.
Yeah, like the green
Tasted like ketchup.
purple ketchup. It tastes just like ketchup, but it was a cool little thing. The other thing
What
that
a
I thought
weird
was really
thing.
cool, the toys that you used to get with McDonald's were awesome. At least I remember them being awesome.
Yeah, I used
With
to fucking
McDonald's
want to
Happy
collect
Meals.
all the fucking toys. Whatever the
Yeah.
fucking collectible toy
I would
was.
always want to collect all the toys
Yeah.
from the McDonald's Happy Meals.
The best thing I ever had, and it's still like at home, but like, do you remember they had the like glass cups at McDonald's? They had like the actual like thick. I think it was like Batman, maybe. What, I don't remember what. There's like two of them at home in my mom's cabinet.
Yes, it was the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
That
was that
movie.
Batman
Yes.
Forever?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was. It was and all the cups like I
Yeah.
remember that. Those were cool.
My
Yeah, I'm
favorite
telling you,
food item
much
though.
better. Yeah.
Wild Wild West burger.
What is
Wow,
that?
it was the first burger I ever ate at a fast food place because I was
Oh,
not a
okay.
burger guy. I was always a chicken nuggets guy. So I was a nugget
Right.
guy. But
All
then
right.
the Wild Wild West burger came out, and I was always a like onion rings over fries, dude.
Okay.
And it was a burger with barbecue sauce, and it was loaded with onion rings. And I was
That sounds delicious.
it was
Yeah,
fucking
sounds good.
awesome. It was, I remember it. I remember being so hyped about it and finally getting my first burger. And it was like, you know, my brothers were also like making fun of me, like, wait, you're actually getting a burger? Because I would always just get, you know, like a 6-piece nugget or whatever when I was like a little kid.
Right.
That terrible movie, great burger. Terrible movie, great burger.
Remember when Mulan came out and they had that Szechuan sauce that went with it?
Yeah.
And they made a big deal about it on Rick and Morty?
Yeah. And then
So
the
I
Rick
have
and
some
Morty
of them.
fans
Right,
had to
right
become-
here.
Oh, look at that. Ready to go.
They it wasn't that good, honestly, but I was like, I might as well keep them. The ones I didn't use.
I can't even think of I would do a Krabby Patty for sure if I was to do my own. Like I feel like that would sell so fast. Just do like a nice solid burger. But I can't think of like a stunt. You know what? Okay, I haven't had it, but did you know that Garfield Eats used to be a thing?
No.
It was a delivery app that was only available in like one city in Canada. They would deliver Garfield themed foods directly to your door.
Did
like
they
lasagna?
deliver on Mondays?
It was like
it just
lasagna. They didn't deliver on Mondays. But it was like they would sell like lasagna and like pizza. And then it was all Garfield themed. And that is the most niche this wasn't a stunt
Yeah.
like meal at a place. This was someone who was like, I got an idea for a business.
I hope they
It's
didn't
like
take that
Garfield
alone
huge
because I wouldn't
in
want to do
Canada?
that bank.
What a weird thing.
Yeah, it was wild.
All right. Well, if you could make one, if you could make your own IP one-off food item. I mean,
Oh,
Krabby
man.
Patty is pretty good. First of all, has there been a Krabby Patty?
Ooh, I feel like there has to have been.
I know.
right?
So there have been pop-ups like in LA and places that like they did a Krabby Patty. So I guess that kind of.
Well, like we've had the SpongeBob movies come out. There had to be a time.
There must have been. At some point, they did a pop-up or something.
I want someone to make Doug's banana pizza and
I
banana
forgot
pizza
about that.
dippers. Nickelodeon, there's an episode of
Oh,
Doug
yeah.
where they're making pizza in like their, you know, home ec class or whatever. And he
Yes.
accidentally like puts bananas on the pizza and everyone, they think it's like going to be a nightmare, but then everyone fucking loves it. And then not only are they putting bananas on the pizza, but then they're just dipping bananas into tomato sauce and just eating it like it's the greatest thing they've ever
Mhm.
had.
So bad.
Mhm.
So I think it's got to be a combo meal where you get the banana pizza slices and you get the banana dippers on the side. That's
Mhm.
what my one-off would be.
Well, I like it. It's good. I think we stick with that.
Well, we can just move on and play a game.
Yeah, I got
Move
no
it
idea.
up. Move it.
All right, let's move. All right.
So bad. It's the same way that
Oops.
It's the same way that
It's the same way. What?
It's the same way that I'll be watching Chopped with Brit, and she'll be like, "Oh, what would you make with these ingredients?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know. Like, I'm not a chef. Like, I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. Like, I don't know. Like,
How about
I'm not.
There's no correct answer, Tuna.
I would do a KFC famous bowl, but with whatever ingredients
Yeah, but
they
you see,
gave
but
me.
that's what I'm saying. Like this question, that's like, "Oh, what would you?" I'm like, I can't. My brain just doesn't work like that.
I think maybe an easier question would be like, what's a food from an IP that's not real that you would like to try? Like I would like
cartoon pizza. Looks amazing.
Yeah, it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle slice.
I was gonna say the pizza from a Goofy movie.
Yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
They take the slice off and it's like dripping down.
Yeah.
All the cheese in that movie is fucking sticky.
If you could make me cheese that is that stretchy, I would be in.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Hit us with the game. Sorry.
I know. I'm still thinking.
All right. So the internet has born today's game. So I was gonna do a whole, because we're doing PowerPoints. I was like, I'm gonna make this into a presentation. We're gonna play a Family Feud style game. I have 2 rounds. There's 10 answers, like in a normal, Family Feud. However, these aren't polled questions. These are stats that have been pulled from the internet that tell us what the internet's most popular search franchises from video games are when it comes to porn. So this is what the top 10 video game porn searches are.
I was thinking I was going to be in this one. I guess Brendan got this wrapped up.
There's 2 rounds. We're going with the top 10 franchises, and then we're going with the top 10 characters. So we're going to do those, and it's just going to be 100 points for the number 1, and then each one is decreasing by 10. So it's just because it's not. To keep it Family Feud styled, and to pick a round robin order that's fair. When I ask the first question, I'm going to go in the order that the questions come in, and then we're just going to stay in that order from the rest of the time. So that, like, whoever buzzes in first, they get to answer first is sort of thing. So you're going to text me your answer. So we're going to start out with what is the number 1 video game franchise that's searched for on porn?
Wait, we're texting you?
We're texting.
Yeah, you're going to text me your answer. Whoever gets in first gets the answer first, and then it's like if you're trying to buzz in first.
Speedy fingers.
All right,
got him.
So the order for the game is going to be, for this round, Brendan, Dan, then Alex, and we're just going to stay in that order for the rest of the time. If your answer has already been guessed, then you'll be able to take a second guess. So Brendan, you opened with Tomb Raider, and I can unfortunately tell you that is not one of the top 10 franchises.
What?
It's not one of the top 10s.
It does exist.
It definitely exists. But we're talking about overall franchises, not characters. It's possible Lara Croft could be really popular, but there's, if there's franchises that have more characters available, then that could easily outweigh, because this bundles all characters from a given franchise together.
Okay.
So he gets nothing.
He gets nothing. We're gonna go with Dan.
I'm just going
popular. Pride.
Super Mario franchise. Super Mario franchise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you are so it's seventh down. So you get 40 points. I'm just guessing
popular franchises.
Dan, you get 40 points for that.
Holy shit! I went in the way wrong direction.
All right, and then Alex, what is your guess?
I guess Tomb Raider, but I get to guess something else.
Yes.
And I'm now going to guess Pokemon.
Pokemon is the number 1 most popular search for franchise when it comes to porn.
There's a lot you can do with those.
Alex, you just scored 100 points.
Hell yeah!
We need to talk about this for the rest of the podcast.
I'm guessing there's some tentacle porn out there.
Oh, there's gotta be. Also, don't forget, there's a lot of humanoid Pokemon too.
True.
Yeah, still not great.
Like, there's definitely someone out there who's like, I'd love to be machoked.
The good news about this, though, is that once you guys run out of Pokemon for episodes, you can just move on to porn Pokemon to talk about at the beginning of episodes.
Here's the thing, though. I did the math on that a while ago, and based on the rate that new Pokemon games come out, we only catch up by about a year. So basically, every 3 years, a new Pokemon game comes out, and in that 3 years' time, we've only caught up by a full so it's gonna take roughly 20 more years before for us to catch up and run out of Pokemon. At which point we'll be on we'd be close to year 30 of this podcast. And we'd all be almost 60 years old. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but just in case, we have our backup guys.
There we go.
We'll do those popular reports.
So
I unfortunately have a guess.
Right?
All right. Yeah. So there's still 8 left. There's still 8 left on the board, Brendan.
And we're saying it out loud now.
Yeah. Now it's
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog is our number 2 for 90 points. Number 2 for 90 points for Brendan.
Whoa.
What?
All right, which brings us back now to Dan. Dan, you have the next guess.
I'm just going with popular franchises. I know there's not that many characters to really do, but Zelda.
The Legend of Zelda is the number 9 on the list, so it's worth 20 points for Dan.
It's too close to human for it to be high on this list.
I mean, it's easy to make porn though, because you just got to get like the ears, and you're pretty much good.
And there's enough characters. You know, there's freaks out there looking for the Zora and the Rito too, because you always have to consider the furries.
Korok porn.
You got to consider the furries.
Yes. Now we got merch for this podcast.
Yeah. Alex.
Fortnite.
Believe it or not, Fortnite does not make the top 10.
I believe it. That's a terrible guess.
And
it was a terrible. When was this list made? 2012.
No, this list just came out. This list just came out.
Overwatch
is halfway down the list. It is worth 50 points.
Overwatch is very popular. We just don't play it.
Yeah, but how is Fortnite not on this list?
I think that Overwatch has more like specific characters, and Fortnite is like
Fortnite. I couldn't tell you the name of a Fortnite character.
Yeah,
I can tell you one, Mr. Beast.
Yeah. But even then you're searching for Mr. Beast porn.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And isn't that I'm not good at that. Isn't that just Mr. Bestiality?
Yeah. Oh man. No, Miss Bestiality is a different movie. All right, Dan, you get to take another guess. Overwatch, that's a great guess. Overwatch is like known for its porn. I bet at one point it was number 1, to be honest.
Oh, I bet. I mean, how are you gonna take on heavyweights like Mario and Sonic?
They give like all the women in that game fucking like Disney dump trucks. Like
they're very the females in that game are very sexualized.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with, for that reason, I guess, Mortal Kombat.
No Mortal Kombat. That's Mortal Kombat porn has got to be some fucking. That's some fucking.
I'm just thinking they're wearing the outfits. I'm not thinking they're doing the thing.
That's some like Hellraiser shit. Mortal Kombat porn.
I mean, the words "finish him" are like on the table right now.
All right, Alex. There's still half of the list has not been taken. The number 3 on the list is still there. 3, 4, and 5 of the top 5. No Minecraft. No Minecraft.
You just made my brain realize that exists.
Let me get them blocky boobs. I want her flat like a square.
Oh man,
something's wrong with your list.
All right, we'll circle back to Brendan. And if we get a round where no one gets anything, then we're just gonna call it. In another round or two, we'll stop anyway. And we'll go to the next round. But
Street Fighter.
No, Street Fighter was a little bit lower on the list. It just eked out of the top 10, but it was.
I was 50-50 in my head which one to say. I was gonna be really mad if it was Street Fighter.
That is a good guess though. All right, Dan.
That doesn't count. No. Bayonetta.
No, but that's not a bad guess. That's a good guess because it's like a JRPG. It's an action JRPG, but it has a lot of characters.
I'm just imagining things you could turn into porn pretty easily.
Yeah.
All right, I got one. Deciding between 2 right now. Roblox.
No, not Roblox.
Fuck,
you gotta.
Man.
Are you trying to guess wrong answers?
These are all games that fucking.
You're picking very popular games, but you're not picking games that have like a bunch of characters.
I have a question for Tuna. How long has it been since you've watched porn? Like how many years?
Fuck do you think this is?
Are we nearing a decade? You don't seem familiar with what it is.
I'm not familiar.
Dan,
with
I don't know if
video
you know
games,
this, but
sorry.
just because you get married doesn't mean that you don't need to watch porn.
No. I'm not asking that. I'm asking it because he must not have in like a decade because he's guessing these terrible fucking answers.
I'm sorry. Are you watching video game porn all the time?
Watching Mario.
Alex brings up a really good point.
Imagine what that would be.
Like Daisy get pegged by Peach. Like what the fuck, dude?
You know, because you said that the searches for that are going up.
Oh, your phone heard that right now.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
Dan's gonna.
Wait, can I have another guess?
I have a for fun guess.
Well, we're gonna do another. We're gonna do one. We're gonna do one more round. We'll start.
Right,
we'll go one more round.
Final Fantasy.
Ooh,
Final Fantasy, the number 3 on the list.
I got another guess.
Oh, I'll go first. I'll get mine out of the way. It's gonna be wrong. Mega Man.
No, but that's a great guess. That is a really good guess, I think, because there's a big cast of characters there.
This game that I'm gonna guess has characters. There's people involved. I'm gonna go with Apex Legends.
It's like number 15.
You know
it's
what?
like number 15.
We're gonna
That was a good guess.
We're gonna end this round and move on to the next round. I'm gonna give you the list. So we're gonna move on to characters now. But it was from number 1 to number 10. It was Pokemon, Sonic the Hedgehog, Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem. Lot of people, a lot of horny people. And it's also a game with a lot of shipping in that game, right?
Christian described it like it's not me.
A lot of horny people.
These are just his top 10 searches.
The next couple is probably where which is part of why I'm like we should move on. There's a good chance we should put in League of Legends.
Oh yeah,
that's a
you didn't say League of Legends.
It's a big popular game. I just don't think of it as fuckable.
That's where my guesses came from. Was big popular games.
That's the top 5, and the bottom 5 were Overwatch, Super Mario, World of Warcraft, Legend of Zelda, and this one fucked me up a little bit, but Resident Evil. Resident Evil.
Big lady.
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah, my giant woman.
Big lady.
Yeah, yeah. She probably. I think that the giant witch lady probably alone brought them into the number 10 spot.
Probably. I can't see it being the zombies before. There was
That's a good point. I don't know what her name is, but I'm sure a lot of people do. Oh my God.
See, I don't like where we're going with this next list because we've gone from the abstract, we've gone from the franchise, and now we're saying names.
Which ones would I fuck?
So I believe at least amongst combined, it's possible one or two of you might not know one or two of the characters on the next list. However, between the three of you, you definitely know all of the characters. I'm just gonna send you just so you have it. The top 10 so you can see it in the order that it was. That being said, the characters it's not a 1-to-1 because these are the most popular characters, but you know,
are we okay ready to send?
So send me who you think the most search for porn character is.
Man.
I sent mine and then I don't even agree with it. But
so Alex got him first, then Dan, then Brendan. What the fuck? All right, Alex, we're gonna go with you first. Who did you say?
I said Lara Croft, baby.
Lara Croft is on the list, shockingly at number 10.
No,
she is on
the list.
It's been a while, I guess.
She's getting old. That's the problem.
And she hasn't had a new game in a while.
Yeah,
but she's still in the top 10, so that is pretty good. Dan?
I threw Peach out there just because, you know.
If you got a Peach, you should use it. That's why she's number 4. 70 points to Dan. That was good. The top 3 are still available. Okay. Let's see if Brendan got one. What'd you guess?
I panicked. I wrote Waluigi.
It's number 1 on Tom's search, but it is not on the list here, unfortunately.
that is a panic draft choice.
Oh man! So now we go back to Alex.
Zelda.
Princess Zelda is there. It is 2 up from Lara Croft at number 8 for 30 points. This is a pretty close game, to be honest. Anyone can win this game right now.
Okay.
Dan next.
but I don't know.
Basing this off of what was number 1 in the franchises, Pikachu.
No Pikachu on the list.
Thank you.
No Pikachu on the list.
I was just, Pokemon was number 1. I was trying to guess what people maybe were guessing.
All right, Brendan.
So, okay, here's the thing. I was going to say Big Lady, but you expressed surprise when I said Big Lady. So I'm going to go with Widowmaker.
Oh, that's an Overwatch character?
That's an Overwatch character.
There is no Widowmaker.
Based on that question.
I wonder which. I don't know who she is off the top of my head.
She's Blue Lady.
Oh, okay. She's the one people dressed up as.
Yeah,
yeah.
She's like
conventions.
Very cosplay popular character.
I've seen people in public dressed up as her, not on the internet.
No.
I don't think enough Overwatch to know who she is. But
it's a good guess, but not the right guess. Alex.
I have a couple guesses in my head.
Great.
This is this year's.
This list was made yesterday.
Okay. I'm gonna go with.
So I saw it yesterday and was like, I got tomorrow's game.
Well, because there's one that I'm thinking of, but I don't know if if it might have dropped off. I'm gonna go with Misty.
Okay, that's a good guess.
Can I go with?
You already guessed. You don't get to go with everything.
Well, all right.
I meant to say this earlier, but no underage people on this. There are no underage people on this list.
Okay, then can I re-guess them?
Yes.
Thank you.
I did mean to say that so that it was no Bowsette. I think that's a great. I see why you went there, but I think that's like a little too niche. That was like a moment, and then it went. But that is a very good guess. But yeah, no. As far as I'm aware, no underage characters on this list.
I have a dumb guess. Is it my turn?
Yes, it is. It's your turn.
I mean, just based on the fucking memes from like a few years ago, Luigi and his giant dong.
No, you'd think Big Sauce is Lou would be here, but he's not. He's not swinging it on this top 10.
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li is there. She is number 7. Nailed 7. It. The top 3 still available.
Okay.
Now here's my question. I'm thinking of something, but I don't know if this person is in a video game. Are you counting?
These are video game only characters.
Meaning
I was gonna guess Keanu Reeves.
They were created for a video game and were a video game first. Whether they've had like a cartoon or a movie or something else.
So Harley Quinn and Black Widow
would not be on here,
and all that is okay.
No, and in fact, this list actually was a combination of it was actually like a most IPs. But I knew that game would be too hard, so I just picked the top 10 video games that came up. The top 10 video games.
So to be clear, most of Kingdom Hearts is out.
Yes, correct.
So I'm gonna go
except for one character.
Yeah,
which is basically like a Final Fantasy character, not
a. Wait, I just had it, and then I forgot it. Bayonetta?
No Bayonetta, no.
What list are you getting, dude?
Dan?
It's tough.
I'm gonna give a hint after this round, and then we'll do another one more through probably.
Samus?
Samus is on there. There we go. Number 6, 50 points.
Zero suit Samus.
So far, these have all been human. So my next guess was going to go off the rails there. So I'll just say nobody said Daisy.
Dan said Princess Peach. We didn't have her off-brand version. We didn't have the Pepsi of the Coke. There is no Daisy.
I was like, that wouldn't count as a different character.
There is no Daisy. But you raise a good point that so far we've only had human characters.
Okay. I know.
I will say,
can I guess then? Can I generally guess something, even if I maybe don't know what?
If you can describe the character and you don't remember what their name is, that's fine.
No, there's no one gonna be able to do that. What I want to be able to do. What I want to be able to do is this. Can
you guess a letter, and if that game starts with that letter and has a character?
No, if I want to say Overwatch girl.
Google one.
It's fucking Google it. Yeah.
You've narrowed it down to 20 characters.
Yeah.
Overwatch.
The place
girl.
this list like wasn't like going viral or something. It was posted on a forum, so like it's I'm not worried about you finding the answer to
It's
this.
unofficial.
Okay.
Diva.
Oh,
David's great guess. It is not on this list though.
That's a great guess.
And
I thought maybe the name would have been a more appealing name.
yeah, and it's smart to possibly want to consider guessing from the list of the top 10 IPs as well, like characters that would probably be from that. We're still missing the top 3 have not been guessed. I will say right now, the number 2, I do not think anyone will guess. I know at least 2 you know who it is. Probably all 3 you do, but I do not think you will get number 2. I just don't think it's gonna happen. But we're gonna do one round of guessing after this one. So Dan and Brendan,
Can we just start like rapid fire?
Yeah, I think rapid fire.
Well, let Dan and Brendan take theirs, and then we're gonna rapid fire. So
Fine.
Dan.
Cortana.
No Cortana, great guess though.
good.
I'm
Really
actually
good.
surprised it's not.
Yeah, how is that
These young
not on
kids,
there?
these young kids, they don't,
They don't know.
These Zoomers
don't
don't know about Halo. Brendan,
This is for the freaks out there. Pink Sonic.
do you mean Amy?
The Pink Sonic.
Like the girl, Amy Rose?
Amy, yeah.
Is it
yeah.
Amy? Yeah, Amy.
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah, Amy Rose is on there. Amy Rose is number
Nice.
5 for 60 points.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Holy shit.
Wow. I'm gonna guess Joel. Last
From The Last of Us, Joel.
Dude.
Yeah, that's fucking hardcore. Oh my
Christ.
god. Joel is not there. No, but there's probably.
Link?
All right, okay. We're gonna rapid fire.
Okay.
What are the rapid fire rules here?
I don't know, just whatever comes to your mind.
Going quick.
For like 30 seconds.
All right, so Dan, 30 seconds. Go.
Just as many as I can.
No, you just name one. We're gonna rapid
Just a
fire.
normal round.
You gotta just name something. Well, because I can't let Alex just
I don't know.
name like 100 characters.
Why not?
Team Rocket. I'm doing as a whole.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Brennan,
Yeah.
no Team Rocket.
Let's go with Big Lady.
No big lady.
No,
All
it's
right,
Nurse
all right. I'm gonna
Joy.
lock the points out for a moment. Should we close the points from rapid fire? See if you can just get them anyway.
Nurse Joy.
No Nurse Joy. There's
Awful
okay.
Jenny.
There's one.
Himself.
There are 4 characters left.
Okay, I gotta get. Is it
Bowser.
popcorn?
Bowser.
No Bowser. Yeah, it's
Tracer.
popcorn.
Tracer.
No Tracer. Dan, just take guesses now. There's 4. You want to know the 4
Knuckles.
There's 4 characters,
Knuckles.
each from a different franchise.
Yeah.
One is from Overwatch. One is from Pokemon. One is from Sonic, and one is from Zelda.
It wasn't
Who's from
Knuckles though.
Zelda.
May?
Ganondorf?
You guessed it earlier, Alex, but I didn't. It was after you took other guesses. It was Link.
Oh.
Okay,
Link,
sorry.
Link
sorry,
was
it
number 9.
So there's 3 remaining. It's Overwatch. What were the other 2?
The top 3 are from Overwatch,
Tails.
Pokemon, and Sonic.
Is Tails an adult?
No, it's not Tails.
Squirtle.
Dr. Robotnik?
Nope. No.
Wait, Sonic.
No.
Sonic. What? Knuckles.
No.
I said Knuckles.
Tails.
Oh.
Shadow.
Oh. Rouge?
Rouge the
Rouge?
Bat.
Oh,
Rouge the
fucking
Bat is
Batgirl.
the
What are you
number
talking about,
3.
Christian?
Rouge the
What?
Bat
Batgirl.
is
Get
the
this list.
What
number
are you
3.
talking about? Is there just like a huge Sonic?
Oh.
There was a lot of
Here's
Sonic
the
characters
All right,
introduced
here's the question.
in later
Here's the big
games.
question.
If Emily was here, she would have got both. She would have been like Rouge the
Is-
Bat, Amy Rose.
Is the Pokemon one a Pokemon?
It's
or
a humanoid Pokemon. So it is a
humanoid
bipedal Pokemon.
Mew.
Mr.
Two.
Mime?
Not
Jinx?
Mr. Mime or Mewtwo, but Mewtwo is on. Okay, this Pokemon is
Gardevoir?
in Super Smash
Lucario.
Brothers.
Lucario.
Lucario is the
What?
number 2.
No. Fuck.
This is
This is bullshit. This is
Get
just
this
someone's list.
What?
This is one person's list.
This.
This
Yeah,
is
this-
Chris's list.
It's not, and I'll give you the list afterwards. And
So wait, the last one. Hold on. The last one's Overwatch, and you're telling me
Yes.
it's not Tracer, Widowmaker, or Diva.
no, the number 1 is none of those.
Mercy.
Nope. you
Brigitte.
got the list up, Alex?
Brigitte.
Nope.
Who?
May.
Tifa Lockhart.
That's not on my list.
Is she not Overwatch? Am I wrong? Is she something else?
That's something else.
That sounds
Oh,
like
I thought she was okay. I thought she was Overwatch. I don't know.
Apex?
That's Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, okay. I don't know, dude.
No.
I saw it. I thought that was an Overwatch character. Okay, that one was Final Fantasy. There you go. I don't know.
Oh, this
I don't play that
person.
game.
Okay.
I don't play either game. So there you go. I saw it. I was like, this is some
the
Overwatch
guy with the
shit.
big sword.
The guy with the big sword. So the top 10 list for characters was Tifa Lockhart, Lucario, Rouge Bat, Princess Peach, Amy Rose, Samus Aran, Chun-Li, Princess Zelda, Link, and Lara Croft. This was basically taken from a variety of like porn subreddits. And so they picked up all of the largest search and posts, and then they gave them stats, and like they were able to.
So this is specifically Redditors.
Yes.
I will say
Yes.
in Tuna's defense,
But I didn't want to say that because then anyone would say
I'm not going to kink shame if Steve is your thing from Minecraft. You can feel free. That's your thing.
It's when we say the word freaks, we mean it endearing.
Look, if you like blocky bitches, that's that's all right. Final scores came down to Alex had a big comeback in the second round.
Everybody's got their kink.
Dan with 180, Alex with 280, Brendan with 310. Brendan,
oh man,
out
I'm
the
gonna
win.
go take a shower.
I feel okay about losing this game.
I'm gonna do our outro. Brendan, why don't you tell people about your podcast and where they can find you on the internet?
Oh, it's the.
You can just speak over it.
Oh, I talk over it. This is the outro. I thought it was a little button. Hi, I'm Brendan Milove. You can follow my podcast. What even is this? And you can follow me at Brendan Milove, an account in which I retweet things from What Even Is This.
Perfect. Yeah. We're the Unranked podcast. Dan's got a stream. All of the information for that and for us is in our show notes. Feel free to give us a call, 805-738-8692. And until next time, stay unranked. Ooh, we didn't tell Brendan the tag.
It's customary to say "suck it" at the end.
We like our guests too.
Can I get to say it?
Do it just creatively, however you want
Thank
to
you
do
so much. I feel it's an honor. Suck it.
I like the throat clear.